Hello motorcycle lovers, this is Don here. Just wanted to go over the best way I've ever found to take care of your chain. And this is with the 90 weight gear oil. With this way, you really don't have to use anything to clean the chain. It just kind of stays clean automatically because you do wipe it off. And you can see this chain looks really nice and clean. This chain, it has been lube. I did lube it yesterday. I haven't ridden it yet, but I'll just show you what I normally do. And you don't want to use motor oil on your chain because the motor oil will make the O-rings swell up and it'll ruin the O-rings. But if you use 90 weight gear oil, it doesn't do that. And in fact, years ago, just about all of the owner's manuals for all the motorcycles, they would recommend 90 weight gear oil on the chain in your owner's manual. And then I guess there's so many products out there now that they don't really do that anymore, of course. But for years and years they do. I think EK chains, they still say that on their website. But so what I do, I wipe the sides of the chain. And like I say, this cleans it when you're just wiping it. And this rag's, I've been using this one a while, but it's still pretty clean enough for this. And then I wipe the inside and just rotate the wheel around. And then I do the links. I put it like a 45-degree angle. Do the links on the outside, 45-degree angle. Do the links on the inside, and that's about it as far as wiping it off. Then I've had a quart of 90 weight for I don't know for a very long time. And then I ran out, so I bought this 75 W90. And this stuff, when you shake it, it's kind of watery and thin. I had used it some, but I wasn't crazy about it. It seemed like it didn't lubricate as well and stay on as well. So then I went by a auto parts store and I bought this. This is 85 140, but when you shake it, this is much thicker, and this seems like it's much closer to what I have been using for years and years. So I just put that. I use a ratio right here. Just put a little bit in the bottom. You don't need much because over time it'll get dirty, and then and of course you'll also be using it. So when it gets kind of dirty, it'll be running low in the bottom, and you just wipe the cup out with a clean rag, and then you start over. So when the oil in the bottom of the cup gets dirty, and the brush will also be dirty. So what you would do is just put your rag around the brush like this, squeeze it real hard, and just pull the brush through a few times, and that cleans the brush. It gets all the dirt out of the brush, and like I say, you don't have to do it. So then you just pour some more a little bit of clean 90 weight in the bottom. I just always leave the brush in there like that, and then when I get ready to lube the chain, just kind of put it around the sides to get the excess off. And then you just kind of put it on the chain and do the outer links, and it'll also be doing the rollers on the inside. Spin it around a few times, and then do the inner links, spin it around a few times, and that's it. And it's very well lubricated now, and you can actually wipe the excess off if you want. You can do the side, the inside, and the outside, and then real lightly just do the top and bottom of the links. Try not to do the rollers too much, and that's it. And it just keeps the chain really clean. It does fly off a little bit. What I do if I'm not going to ride, like I'm not going to ride tomorrow. I'm not going to ride tomorrow. I'm not going to ride this bike for a few days. So what I do when I'm out here in the garage, I'll just spin the wheel. I walk by, I'll just spin the wheel a little bit, and that way the gravity can move the oil around on the chain. And then when I actually do get ready to ride, it kind of wipe off the excess. There again, I'll do the bottom because I just leave it on the stand, the sides, and that gets the excess off so it doesn't really fly off. Like I say, you don't need any other cleaners. The chain will still real nice and clean. Now this way really works. I had a CBR 929, and I put 52,000 miles on it, And when you would pull back on the chain on the rear sprocket, it did not pull back. And that was with the original chain at 52,000 and the original rear sprocket. Now the front sprocket goes around about 2.5 more times because it's smaller than the rear sprocket. So I think it was around 30 or 35,000 miles. The front sprocket was showing some wear. So I did put a front sprocket on it. But at 52,000 miles, the chain would not pull back, and the, it was just not showing any wear. So, I really don't know what I could have gotten out of that. You might get 80,000 out of a chain, maybe more. This chain here does pull back, and I bought this bike used. You can see it there. My 929 with 50,000 miles did not do that. Now this is not showing much wear, but it's a little bit. But I bought this bike, it had 3,000 miles on it. And when I walked into the KTM dealer, it looked like a brand new bike. I thought it was. I mean, it's very clean. And even now, I've owned it for 2 years, and it still, looks like a brand new bike, really, if you clean it up real good. But then once I got it home and I started taking things off and looking at it and, had a drop light, look underneath, it had this red mud that was really caked on it in certain areas. So this bike had been, even though it's only 3,000 miles, it had been ridden in the mud, and maybe the chain just got caked with mud so bad, or they power washed it with a power washer, like a deck washer or something like that, to get the mud off, which they probably did, because you really didn't see any except certain areas. So that's probably why this chain is showing wear like this. I mean, that's not much. I'm not going to replace it anytime soon. But yeah, that's, like I say, I have a Aprilia Tuono with 16,500 miles on it. It doesn't pull back at all. And like I say, my 929 using this method did not pull back at all. So I usually do it about every 200 miles. Sometimes I do 300-400 mile days. Of course, I'm not doing it out while I'm out riding. So it goes, 300-400 miles quite often without, being lubed. But since, I parked the bikes in the garage here, and it's just so easy to do it that I do it probably every 200 miles or so. And that, like I say, I got, lots and lots of miles out of the CBR 929. I also had a 07 after the CBR. I had a 07 Tuono, and when I sold that, I had 36,000 on it, and the chain on that did not pull back at all. It just did not do that. It just did not move. So there's another bike that can attest to the high mileage out of a chain with the 90-way gear oil. Okay, motorcycle lovers, hope that helps. Have fun, ride safe.